Okay, there's this crazy case in France of an immigrant woman who killed a 12-year-old girl, a schoolgirl, this girl. And it is just nuts. So this girl went missing in 2022. And they found her body in like the bottom of a trunk or something like that in a facility where her parents worked as caregivers. Now I think her father is dead. He died. He was like 49. And her mom and her brother are still alive. And they were at this court case where the person who killed her was just sentenced to life in prison, or basically like 30 years at least in prison. The woman who killed her is 27 years old, and she's Algerian. And it's significant because, first, they just call the lady who killed her a psychopath because she just is. They're like, there's no medication, no treatment, or whatever we can have for her. She's just crazy, you know? And second, it's an Algerian woman, so it created this huge controversy with immigrants in France because if you know France, there's tons of people from Algeria historically that live in France and in places like Paris because of like the historical immigration stuff for like the last 400 years in France. So tons of people from Algeria live in there. Anyhow, this lady, I was so surprised. It's a woman. It's a woman who's the murderer. And this was so brutal. It was like one of the most brutal cases that I've ever heard about. This lady, so the kid, I think she was walking home from school or something like that, and she disappeared. And we found out that this Algerian woman, like I said, was 27 now. So she must have been like 24 at the time. She kidnapped the girl. She physically assaulted her, she raped her and murdered her, and then concealed her body in this trunk. And yeah, it's just a horrible, horrible case that sparked so much outrage in the country because that woman was supposed to be deported from France. She had overstayed her time in France. I don't know, maybe through her visa or a program that she was in, but she was supposed to leave the country and she never did. So yeah, just really, really sad. It says this Lola girl, she was murdered in 2022. And like I said, she was found in this plastic storage box in the courtyard of the building where she lived. And her parents also worked as caregivers. And yeah, it says there also the Algerian woman was an immigrant who had been ordered to leave the country by the government. And she just never did. So I don't know if they're going to deport that lady after, but she's not, like they say it's a life sentence. It's only 30 years. So she's still going to have a chance to have a good full life. She's going to be in her 50s when she gets out of jail. It's really horrible. This is one of the only pictures I could find. I think it was in the Monde. One of the only pictures I could find of the woman. And they had like court reporters and like court, like the people who draw what's happening in a court because you're not allowed to have certain cameras in the courtroom. So yeah, I'm just so surprised some young woman. Usually these killers and stuff are men. So to hear that it's a woman that lured that poor child and did all those horrible things to her, and yeah, so they really do think that she's a psychopath. And apparently she's like the first female prisoner to be given this kind of a sentence because it's so egregious and heinous and all the things that she did.